Hello, welcome back, and we're here with the one and only Percy Jackson. So how does it feel discovering you are the son of Poseidon? I mean, it isn't every day a child is born of the big three.
I really didn't know what to make of the situation. I mean, when I found out I was a demigod was shocking enough. I thought I was just going to be son of a minor god or something like that. I never ever expected I would be son of Poseidon. I considered myself a loser, and how could a loser be son of a big god like that? It's still unreal to me.
Even after you've proven yourself to everyone, I mean, you are truly no doubt son of the sea god.
Well, yes, I have proven myself, you could say that, but still, it's crazy for me to even think about. I mean, this entire world is crazy for me to think about. There really are gods and goddesses and people who are half goat and a camp for half gods and half mortals, and to think I was worried about my dyslexia and school problems when I was supposed to be worried about monsters attacking me.
Yes, many monsters have attacked you, and surely more will. Any monster would jump at the chance. Which was the first monster to attack you?
It was my teacher, Miss Dodds. Or I thought she was just a teacher. She turned out to be a fury.
Names have great power. Remember that, Mr. Jackson.
Oh, right. I always forget that. I should have said she turned out to be a kindly one. It was just a regular day at school. Or so I thought. We went on this field trip to a museum full of ancient Greek artifacts, all kinds of stuff about gods and goddesses. It seemed like the perfect setting, actually. I thought they were just myths at the time. Then, well, one minute she was my teacher, then the next, a monster.
And that was the day you found about all of this?
That was the day my entire world changed forever.
How did you like Camp Half-Blood?
It was all really weird at first. I mean, any other camp I went to before, we played Manhunt, where you just chased them around and tagged them and they were on your team, whatever. At Camp Half-Blood, you chase them around and practically fight them to the death. It was crazy.
How did you deal with finding out about Grover being half goat?
Oh my gosh, that was so strange. I've known the kid for how long? And then one day his pants are off and he's the bottom half of a goat. But I'm used to it now, and I like him better, half goat, than pretending he was human.
And you made new friends at camp?
Yes, Annabeth, the daughter of Athena. And I did make some enemies too.
Oh yes, Luke. How did you deal with that shocking discovery at the end of camp? A person who you thought helped you was really and truly the lightning thief. How did you deal?
It was hard. I thought he was my friend, yet he stole the lightning bolt from Zeus and just handed it over to Ares, who framed me. I was already a suspect just for being Poseidon's son. Luke and Ares just made it worse. I had spoken to the oracle, and it had said, "You will be betrayed by one who calls you a friend." So I was expecting something like that to happen. But Luke, I really didn't see that coming, and he even tried to kill me. I'm rather lucky to have my life.
You've dealt with a lot of life-threatening moments, though, yes?
You could say that.
And tell us, Percy, how is it like in the underworld, and how did you manage to get out alive? Nobody knows the true story, so tell us, will you?
The underworld is a dark and truly horrid place. Honestly, it's terrible to even think about, to remember it. It may haunt me for the rest of my life. I didn't want to go, but I had to. I mean, my mother was taken there by the Minotaur, and the only reason I accepted my quest at Camp Half-Blood in the first place was to go save her. Hades is everything you'd expect. Truly horrible.
You must be careful, Percy. Watch the names.
Right, but I don't even know how to describe it. I don't want to think about it. I will tell you how I got out, though.
And tell us how you even got in. Without being dead, I'm sure it must have been difficult.
Well, we bribed the ferry driver. We just mentioned how we'd asked Hades to give him a raise, and he practically let us jump on. Of course, we had to pay him several drachmas. We traveled past all the people waiting to be sorted and judged. We passed the fields where they would go after they were sorted and judged. And we passed many other terrible things. Then, while we did our business with Hades, he wanted the bowl, which I did have, but not intentionally, and he wanted to exchange it for my mother, unless I had the bowl. I didn't know I had it, so I had to leave without her.
And how did you escape?
Well, we had these magical pearls. You'd stomp on them and they'd take you where you want to go, even out of the underworld. We only had 3, one for Annabeth, one for Grover, and one for myself. That's why I had to leave my mother. There was no other choice. But Hades let her go afterwards once he had no more use for her.
And then that's when all the horrible stuff happened with Luke, correct?
Yes.
And Luke had escaped, correct?
Yes, he has. But he won't be safe for long. We'll find him.
Now, you are planning on staying at Camp Half-Blood year-round, or are you going home? I'm sure it'll be much safer to stay at the camp.
But I wouldn't want to leave my mother. I mean, now that she's safe and home, I couldn't just leave her now, could I?
A true gentleman, but your own life depends on it, Percy.
My mother needs me. I'm living at home and then going to camp just for the summer.
Interesting choice. Not sure if it's wise, but I admire your choice anyway.
Well, thank you. And intelligence was Athena's thing, remember? Not Poseidon's.
Very true. And that's all we have time for today, folks. So thank you, Percy, for joining us today. We have learned a lot about you, your journey, and what's what you're doing in the future. We will be sure to catch up in a little while. Thanks again, Percy.
My pleasure, and yes, we will have to catch up.